Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Social Science Mantra, and you are watching video number 4 chapter 1 resource and development. In last video we talked about land utilization pattern and the importance of land resources. So we are continuing that. So land utilization pattern, and we can say the land use pattern depend on certain factors including the physical factors and the human factors. In physical factors, the topography, climate and soil types. Topography means the relief feature, that how the relief feature affect the land use pattern. As we know that in mountainous area it affects the population density, that the population density will be scarce in the mountainous regions and in the coastal regions. But in the fertile areas, in the plain areas, the population density will be more. It means the land use pattern will be more, land will be utilized more in the plain areas. So topography affects the land use pattern. Similarly, the climate of a region also affects the land use pattern. That the climate, including the temperature, rainfall, humidity and all are the such factors that affect the land use pattern. Similarly, we can say the soil type. As we know, the different type of soil are responsible for the growth of different type of crop. So that also affect the land use pattern. Okay, so topography, climate and soil type, all these are the physical factors. When we talk about the human factors include the population density, technological capability and culture and traditions. Again, human factors, when we are talking about the population density, it means more and more population, the land will be utilized more for the agriculture use, for non-agriculture use like the settlement, like road construction, various other purposes. So the population density is a responsible factor for the land utilization pattern. Technological capability means as more we are updated with the technology, as more the human will be advanced with the technology, he will use the land in a more better way and he will access the land more and more. Okay, so culture and traditions. So what type of land will be utilized, how the land will be utilized, the net zone area, or we can say the forest, or we can say the land for the cultivation, for the fallow land, how the land will be utilized. Again, it depends on the culture and tradition of that region. Okay, so similarly, in all these points are responsible for the land use pattern in India. How the land use pattern depends, these are the factors that we need to keep in mind. Okay student, so when we talk about the total area of our India, the total geographical area of India, that is 3.28 million square kilometer. But at the same time, we will say that the total geographical area is not counted, the total land data that is available in the statistics department, that is not for the total geographical area. Only we have the data available, that is 93% of the total geographical area. It means what about the rest 7%? The 7% is including the COK, China occupied Kashmir, POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and some of the northeast states where the border disputes are there. So except all these reasons, the 93% area have been covered up in the land data which is available. In your book, the two pie charts have been given. One is 1960-61 and one is 2014 and 15. When we compare these two pie charts, the question can be asked in board for comparison of these pie charts. Interpretation question can also be asked. So please listen carefully. Where you will see in that the land under permanent pastures that have been decreased. 1960 to 2014 and 15, in these years the land under permanent pastures have been decreased. Similarly, the other current fallow land, as I already told you that there are two types of fallow land, current fallow and other than current fallow. Other than current fallow land means where we keep the land fallow for 1 to 5 years, that is other than current fallow land. It is of poor quality. Poor quality means not fertile, and somehow if we try to organize, still it is not useful at all. Pattern of NSA or net zone area, that is again the state to state varies. You can see that in the region of the Punjab and Haryana. It is more productive areas, more fertile areas, and you can compare that areas, that these regions, net sown area is more, 80% area is net sown area, but in the states of Arunachal Pradesh, in the state of Rajasthan, in various other areas where the productivity is not that much capable to have the more fertile and more productivity the areas can have, so net sown area will be varies there. Similarly, forest area is below than the desired. As you know that according to the forest policy of 1952, total 33% is a desired quantity of the forest. Okay, it means the 33% of land area should be covered with the forest. This was the according to the forest policy of 1952, but we have not reached up to the desired level. Only the statistics that we have currently available, that is 22% of our land area is under the forest cover. Okay, so according to all these data, we can say that these are the comparisons that we have noticed in the land use pattern of India. Because of the continuous use, because of the indiscriminate use of the land, we human beings along with the physical factor caused land degradations. Okay, so the land degradation means that we have caused harm to the land fertility, we have caused harm to the land productivity. That is why the upper layer and the top fertile layer of the soil have been removed, and this is turned into the land degradation. Land become unfit for the production. Okay, they are basic needs. As we know, very important point, that 95% of our basic needs, 95% of our basic needs include food, shelter, clothing. All are obtained from land. How? The cloth that we wear, it grow on land, cotton. Okay. Similarly, the shelter that are also made on the land. Construction are made on the land. The settlement are established on the land. Food crops, everything, whatever we need, it is available on land. So 95% of our basic needs, including the food, clothing and shelter, that can be obtained from land only. Okay. What are the causes of land degradation? Mining is a greater cause for the land degradation, as we know that once the mining is over, once the extraction process is over and completed, after that the land is abandoned and the deep scars left on the land. Okay, and that is why the deforestation occurs, and because of this the land get degraded. In the state of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, MP, Odisha, that you can find that many areas, many mining sites have caused degradation of the land. Similarly, deforestation is another activity, human-made activities. For the selfish purpose, selfish need, the human is deforesting and the human is cutting the trees, which is again a reason for the deforestation, as the land will lose its holding capacity. Overgrazing in the state of Gujarat, Rajasthan, MP and Maharashtra. Overgrazing, it means the pasture land, the cattle, they have more and more livestock and they are totally dependent on the small pasture lands and small area of the forest where the overgrazing is made, because we are not having more and more permanent pasture. Okay, because of this overgrazing process, again the land will be degraded. Over irrigation. In the state of Punjab, in the state of Haryana, in the state of Western UP, Western Uttar Pradesh, land is used mainly for agriculture purposes. Various chemicals, various pesticides, insecticides. Because of all this, the land is getting degraded day by day, year by year, month by month. Okay, so these are the reason over irrigation as well. And industrial effluents, the disposal of industrial effluents into the water, into the land, creating the pollution of water as well as the land pollution. Okay students, so far we have talked about that what is the land degradation, what are the causes of land degradation, and what are the factors on which land use pattern depends. Okay, so now we discuss the another topic. So the next is land conservation. In this we talk about the solution of the land degradation, that already we just discussed just now, that what are the reasons for the land degradation. So how can we avoid this land degradation situation, and how can we we conserve the land. Okay, so in this land conservation, we keep first the afforestation. It means by growing more and more trees on land, we can avoid the land degradation. Okay, then deforestation is the reason for the land degradation. Similarly, the afforestation is the solution of land conservation, okay, and land degradation. So first conservative measure is afforestation. Second is proper management of grazing. It means overgrazing being a cause for the land degradation. If we manage the grazing areas, if we manage the overgrazed areas so that the cattle do not overgraze the areas, we can avoid the land degradation, and it can again be an effective measure of conservation. The third one is planting of shelter belts. It means more and more row of trees if we grow on the either side of the road, or we can say number of trees grown in a sequence, then we can have a shelter belt. So this shelter belt can protect the environment as well as can stabilize the sand dunes and can stabilize the land and avoid the land degradation. Proper management of wastelands. As well, we can say we can have a proper discharge of industrial effluent so that it cannot lead to the environmental degradation, it cannot lead to the land degradation. Okay, by having this strategy, we can conserve the land, and these all four are the land conservative measures. Now the next topic is soil as a resource. As we know that soil is a survival system for various living beings. Okay, that the crops are grown in the soil. Similarly, various animals or various form of life also depend on the soil for their growth, for their development, for their food and everything. Okay, the soil is an important resource, and being an important resource, we need to understand that what are the factors which are responsible for the formation of soil. So into that, relief is one of the factor which is responsible for the formation of soil. The second one is parent rock or bedrock, which go through the withering process, or we can say decomposition process, and soil get formed. Including the climate, the variation of the temperature. Because of that, it get converted, the cracks are there, and cracks finally result to the formation of soil. So this temperature difference and various other climatic reasons, just like rainfall and all, they are also responsible for the formation of soil. Vegetation of like the time spent, and as well as the various decomposers also are the reason for the formation of soil. So all these are the factors which are responsible for formation of soil. Okay, so far we discussed about the factors which are responsible for the formation of soil. Soil classification we will discuss later, just after the soil erosion and soil conservation. So first we discuss about the soil erosion. That soil is an important resource, but still there are the various ways, various human activities which are causing soil erosion. It means the top layer of soil is being removed because of human activities, and this term is termed as soil erosion. Okay, so what type of soil erosion we have? First one is gully erosion. It means fast flowing water cuts deep channels, cuts narrow channels into the land, and these deep narrow channels are called gullies, and this type of erosion is termed as gully erosion. The reason I told you, the fast flowing water, the running water cuts deep into the land and makes a narrow channels. These channels, narrow channels, are termed as gullies. Okay, and this type of erosion is gully erosion. Because of this, land become unfit for cultivation, and this land is termed as bedland. Okay, in Chambal region, the ravines, these are the example of the bedland. The second one is sheet erosion. Then the fast flowing water again over the slopes, they remove a sheet of the fertile soil and sheet of the fertile layer of the soil. This is termed as sheet erosion. Not only the flowing water, but the wind sometimes also be a reason for the sheet erosion, that the top layer of the sheet is removed due to the action of wind and due to the action of flowing water. Okay, Some defective methods of farming are also the reason for the soil erosion, including that sometimes the plowing is made up and down over the slopes in the slopes area. So where the farming is done in a defective manner, it can cause the soil erosion. Okay, so far these are all the erosion types and erosion process and the things which are responsible for the soil erosion. So what can be the effective way by which we can conserve the soil? Okay, so in conservation we will talk about contour plowing. That contour plowing means the plowing should be made according to the slopes. We need not to cut into the proper terrace. Okay, the terrace farming is a different one. Terrace farming we need to cut a proper shape and proper steps. So this is the only reason that terrace farming is also done on the hilly areas. Contour plowing is also done on hilly areas. But the contour plowing means according to the slopes the crops are grown, and this type of plowing is known as contour plowing. The second is terrace farming, where the steps will be made and proper shape will be given to the steps, and this will be known as terrace cultivation and terrace farming. In strip cropping, the strip of grass is grown between the crops. A strip of grass is grown between the crops, and this is called strip cropping. Okay, so this strip cropping is also the another solution, another method of conservation of soil. Okay, the fourth one is shelter belts. Already I told you what is the shelter belt. Shelter belt means the growing of number of trees, the row of trees, so that soil can be stabilized, the sand dunes can be stabilized, and we can avoid the soil erosion. Okay, and so these are the four: contour plowing, terrace cultivation, strip cropping, shelter belts. All are the effective methods of soil conservation. Okay. Recently, India's environment. Okay, if we focus on the environment, if we protect the environment, automatically it will reverse the land degradation, as it happened in the village of Sukumajri in Haryana state and the district of Jhabua. There they reversed the land degradation. How? That 1976, 13 per hectare was the tree density. 13 per hectare was the tree density, which increased 1272 per hectare tree density in the year 1992. So here you can notice that if we start focusing on the environment protection, automatically it will reverse the land degradation. Land will improve, upgradation will happen. Okay. Similarly, regeneration of environment can also relate to the well-being of people. It means that it can also lead to the more income. The people of Sukumajri district and Sukumajri village in the state of Haryana, they start earning more. Their income increased from 10,000 to 15,000. So this hike is also a result of the regeneration of environment. In some states like Madhya Pradesh, government, they have increased the 1% land area, and you can say 2.9 million hectares area was green through the watershed management. And this means that they promote the afforestation, they promote the planting of trees, they promote that how can the land degradation be reversed. So all these effective steps taken by the government of the state is also another example which motivate us to protect and to conserve the important soil and to conserve the land. Okay. So far we talked about all these methods or all these causes of the erosion as well as the conservation. Okay, the method and the effective measures of conservation. Now the next topic is classification of soil. It is the last topic of the chapter. After that the chapter will complete. Okay,